So we have a lot of leaves to draw. And I really wanted to do some sort of project to get people, at least get me, I mean, if not everybody else, at least me excited for fall because I'm over here in San Antonio, Texas, and it's not very cold here. So we have a bunch of leaves on the water, and we're going to start with our lightest colored leaves. So before we do anything, though, I am going to take a look at my things and take out all of my leafy fall colors. So for anyone new here, I always encourage you guys to do your own thing, do your own colors if that's what you'd like. I don't want to regiment any or make you guys do anything, use any colors you don't want to use. So anything that looks like fall, reminds you of fall, even just a little bit, you're more than welcome to add it into the list of colors, so to speak. Now, if you're wondering how many colors to choose, I think, how many colors did I put in here? I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. It looks like I put 5 colors. I have a fuchsia. That one's the bright one. I also have a peach color. I have a light orange. I have yellow. What else do I have? I think that's also regular orange too. So light orange and regular orange. What else? I think that's it. Oh no, I also had brown, 2 types of browns for me. So regular brown and this kind of ochre / sandy brown, if you want to call it that. So even if it looks remotely like fall and you want to use it, then go ahead and use it. Like I said, you don't have to stick to the rules here. I may seem like I make the rules, but I really want you to break them whenever you can. So I'm just going to set this aside. Sometimes, here's a little tip for you guys. Sometimes it does help to have a spare piece of paper where you can just scribble the colors on it and you can see what it actually looks like on the paper. So I've started to carry some note cards around with me, or at least next to my desk. And I know I have 2 different colors that look very similar. So I'll scribble on top of these and set it aside so I know exactly which colors I'm using. We will be starting from lightest color to darkest color. So at least for me, if I'm confused about which is the lightest color, I like to set them all side by side and arrange them in order. So this one, I have to see what this one looks like. That's pretty nice. I'm going to set this somewhere in there. So probably about there. Now I would say this fuchsia color right here, it is pretty light, but it's also very bold. So I'm gonna put it towards the end here as one of the darker colors, even though it's you can layer it, it is transparent, but again, it's just a very bold color. I'm gonna set it all aside like that. And we're gonna start to make some leaves. The blue that you see in that picture, that'll come later. So first thing we want to do, we're going to eventually have a lot of leaves here, but we're going to start off by drawing the easiest leaves. These are the leaves that are on top of everything. So here's how you start your nice little fall leaves. You start with a point. Make a little, what would you call that? Like a happy face. And then you make the opposite one. Now, I'm not really going to make the stem just yet. I'll do that later. Although if it helps you to visualize it, you can certainly make the stem right now. But some of these stems, if you have a bunch of those stems, at least right now, it's going to make things a lot more confusing. So I would wait on the stems, at least for now, at least until you get, I mean, you can draw a few, but I wouldn't put too many in there. You can also draw them whatever direction you want as well. Again, I'm just putting the stem in there just so I have an idea of what they look like. And you'll notice that I very often will miss the mark. Like right here, this is totally an accident, but I totally made the stem not really running through the leaf the way I intended. And you'll find that I do that often, and that's okay. I want you to know that you can always fix these things. Now, if it's easier for you, then I highly recommend you move your paper around like that. I want you to go ahead and put a bunch of these leaves down. And since I now personally, I have a hang of the leaves and the shape of the leaves, I'm now not going to draw any of the stems because like I said, it just gets confusing later with so many lines and so many things going on. However, I don't really want to tell you not to do that if it's easier for you to put those stems in there. So keep on drawing. Anytime you are ready, you can move on to your next light color. So for me, it's going to be this yellow here. And again, they're just light colors. Just put a few in there. When I say a few, I really mean like, I don't know, maybe 3, maybe 4. Are there any questions so far? Cool. You guys are rock stars. Cool. So what we'll be doing is we'll be layering them. And I'll show you how that works in a second. I'm probably going to do, maybe I'll just do one more leaf in here. Now, here's what I mean by layering, okay? And honestly, we could really just move on to any color that you want after this, and I'll show you why. Here's what I mean by layering first. If you want to make a certain leaf look like it's underneath a different leaf, like this one, for example. Say I have a yellow leaf and I want it to look like it's underneath this one. I'm going to take it little by little. See how it I started on this end, I made it come up to a point, and then I made the opposite line go down until I hit this peachy line. And here's another example. I can start the opposite way if I want to. I can start with a point, with my point first, and I can go down until I reach the leaf, then come back to my point again, go down until I reach my leaf again. And again, it looks like it's layered underneath. Here's another little trick, I guess. Say, for example, maybe I want to make it look like there's a leaf that comes off to the side, like it kind of peeks out over the edge there. So I can make the dot for my center of my leaf, stretch it down off the edge of the page, and then come back, stretch it down off the edge of the page again. Now that was a lot. I can keep on going, keep talking. Any other questions? Any questions at all? Cool. Honestly, this picture is very laid back. If later on perhaps you decide, oh, I think I want more yellow leaves, even after we skip the yellow step, That's absolutely okay. You can add more leaves of that color later. The only reason I say that I say to start with your lighter colors is because it's a lot easier to layer your colors when they're light. Now, here's another little trick. Say I still want to layer with yellow, and I do highly encourage you to do that. Let's start to fill in some of our colors. Now this part, I probably could have had you like color in the first color first, but I want to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to start with my dot, and I can make a different kind of effect by not stopping when I see the lines. Crisscross your lines like that. I had to fix the shape of that leaf. See that? I just kept on going. And in my head, it kind of feels like this leaf is going to be right on top. Although that may not actually be the case. You can actually start coloring in your leaf at any time. Like I said, this is a very laid back project. You don't have to do things in, too much of an order other than just start with your lighter colors. So I can go back and I can color in my yellow. Because to me, in my head, I want this leaf to be right on top. Therefore, I want this color to show through. So let's see. Here's what it looks like. Whenever I layer the pink right here, it turns into an orange. I'm just crossing those lines. I want to show you that other effect in which I take these two starting ones here and I show you what it looks like when they don't layer. I guess that's really the biggest difference there. I think my colors are starting to run out. My main point is that I want you to see the difference between the two looks. Decide which one you like and do more of whichever one you like. The leaves, do you like the leaves that are translucent, like this, and they layer? Or do you like the leaves that are one on top of the other? Now, I want you guys to pick and choose what you want. And honestly, when you feel like you've had enough of one color, you're more than welcome to move on to the next color. So you can certainly start to color it in as you see fit. My recommendation would be to move your marker along with the shape of the outside here. You see how it turns here. It goes up and down like this. It's more elongated. I recommend you do that. Although there might be some instances where, like this one, for example, maybe I don't really like the way some of the marks look. So I could just kind of go over it the opposite direction. And I could fix it up by going in the opposite direction. You kind of clean up those lines. Like this one, for example, I don't really like the way it looks right here. I think it's a little too blotchy personally. So I can just kind of go the opposite way. And I think I've officially run out of yellow in this marker. It's about time. I've had this set of markers for since forever. Any questions? All right. Yeah, you guys just keep going, and whenever I add the next color, I will tell you guys. But now you see how they both look. And honestly, here's one more thing I want to show you guys. I've just decided, literally just right now, that I want to put another pink leaf on top of this yellow one here, and I want it to stretch across this pink one right here. So I could literally just start with my point. I want it to go across, so I'm going to make it go across. And I'm going to color it right in. And I also want you guys to take your time with the coloring. I say that because it's just fun to, it's just so satisfying. I think that's the better word. It's so satisfying to actually fill in everything within the lines. Normally, I'm a very, I'm a messy painter, I'm a messy marker, I guess, but it is very satisfying, especially when you have a lot of anxiety. I'm usually pretty riddled with anxiety. Just to fill it all in is pretty nice. Now, is there anyone who has done anything creative this week?
Wait, before you do that, I have a question. I was on mute. I
Yeah.
thought, how come I don't hear myself?
Oh,
I think you probably said it, but the brown one that you put the stem and the leaves, like that was just like to be as an anchor, or like what was the point of that?
let's see. Let's see if I can. Okay, so which brown one? Is there a particular brown leaf?
No, I mean, it just, when you did the browns, you put a stem on it and you put little things, and the yellows you're just filling in. So
Yes. So actually, if you'll look at it, the outline and the stem, I'm marking it right here. So there's the stem and there's the outline. On every single one of these leaves, I outlined it in, I chose one brown and I outlined it in that brown. So I believe it was this one, this sandy ochre brown. I just decided to outline every single leaf in this brown, but I didn't do that until later. So actually,
okay.
yeah, so the stem is actually this color brown, the same brown. And it's hard to see, but in some of these traditional brown leaves right there, it's just hard to see that the lighter brown on top of it, just because of the nature of the color. Does that kind of make sense?
I don't know.
Well, let's see if I can, let me erase it and then I'll try again.
You know, I mean, I guess I'm asking because I made my first leaves like that, whatever, let's call them the brown leaves, you know.
Yeah.
I think I made them smaller than I wanted them to be, and the yellows are bigger. So now I'm confused, like, well, what should I do? Should I make my browns bigger?
Oh no, I would leave them. Like I would keep them the same, because not all leaves are going to be the same size. I just feel like it's more realistic that way. And honestly, because that particular brown, or really any browns, are so strong, they're such strong of a colors. The only thing is that you won't be able to layer them in the same way. Like, and I'm talking about this kind of brown. You won't be able to layer them in the same way, but that's absolutely okay. It just means that these, you know, if you imagine them in an actual forest on an actual pond, they're just right on top of everything. So I would proceed as normal, you know. Does that make more sense?
Maybe.
Maybe. You'll you'll find your solution once you work with it, I think. A lot of this is It is trial and error, it really is. But I wouldn't call it an error. I really wouldn't. Maybe I should just come up with another term. Like, I don't know, think of something. Trial and pivoting, maybe. Trial and learning. I don't know. You guys are welcome to throw something at me.
Just trial and see.
Trial and see.
Try and see
There
how
you
it goes.
go. That's exactly it. Trial and see how it goes. I'm going to trademark that now. And just so you guys know, this one here, I'm just talking out loud. You don't have to pay attention if you don't want to, but I have decided that I want this yellow leaf to stand firmly behind this pink leaf right here. So I didn't overlap it. See the difference between these and these. So just kind of make those decisions as you go along. Yeah, so I think probably I'll add the next color, and then I'll go back to the question I asked. I usually like to ask if anybody's done anything creative recently, so I'll go back to that one just in case somebody named Tony wants to share.
Tony.
Don't worry. I don't know if you've done anything creative, but you know.
I did it followed a tutorial online to do like a beach painting.
Oh, hey, how cool. Let me see if I can pin you.
I look forward to Tony's paintings every week.
I do too. I do too. This is exactly why I asked this question. I love the blending, Tony.
Thank you. And I did this one today. I took a picture of the tree from below outside.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's really pretty. How cool. I love the colors.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yay, thank you for sharing, Tony. I seriously really do enjoy. I really enjoy seeing what you come up with.
And I don't know whether you can see this. This is my artwork today.
Yeah, let me get you. Let me get you.
I live in Western New York. The trees look like this right now, and they're absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So I didn't paint it. I just took a photograph of it.
Cool.
I don't know whether you can
I
get the
love
appreciation.
it.
There's the color. I don't know whether you can get the appreciation. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so easy to do, Judy. You just take a brush and literally dip it in the paint and just dot.
I know. I took a picture of this so I can get the color of it.
No, that's amazing, Judy. I love that.
Yeah.
If you guys,
it's just gorgeous. It's like reds and oranges and yellows right in a row. It's just beautiful right now.
Yeah, it is.
Next week it'll be snow.
Oh. Wow, snow already. That's amazing. Very cool, guys. It is just now starting to cool down here. It was I would say high 70s today, low 80s.
Yeah, we're in Tampa, so we have a similar situation going on here.
So you guys understand.
I think it was 40 today. 40 and cold wind.
Yeah, total opposite sides of the country for both of you guys.
I went swimming
So
today. It was warm enough to go swimming.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty neat. Now I'm going to add my next color for you guys. And for me, I don't know what your markers look like, but for me, that next color is going to be this light orange. I always get orange and yellow mixed up. Just in my head, they're mixed up. And honestly, it's the exact same procedure. You can draw it. And honestly, if you wanted to immediately color it in, you totally could do that too. I think I forgot to mention that earlier. But draw it in, figure out how you want to layer it. So here's an example, maybe over here. I can make my dot and have it overlap probably both of them. Like so. Or I can choose which one for it to be behind. So perhaps it can be behind this one right here. I'll just stop when I get to the line, like that. And honestly, this is the same exact procedure for every single color. Every single color up next. The only thing is that's going to be different is that whichever color you choose to be your darkest ones, for me, that's going to be this brown here. It's not going to layer very well. It's probably just going to sit on top of everything. So yeah, that's like I said, very laid back picture today. Would you guys like to do another fully acrylic painting? Because I'm wondering, it might be pretty nice to paint all the fall foliage. But if there's anybody who doesn't have any acrylic paints, that's okay. You don't have to. Oh yeah, don't forget, you can put different size leaves in there too. Like I think I want, there we go. Now I'm already moving on to orange. You can put some smaller leaves in there. And of course you can always go back to whatever color you want. So you can re-add some other colors as you see fit. I'm gonna add these, and honestly, if you wanted to do a different shape leaf, you can do that too. For whatever reason, I always blank whenever I think of other shapes. I just, for whatever reason, can't think of any other leaf shapes till I look it up, and then I'm like, oh yeah, there's that leaf shape.
Okay, my daughter Amelia here, who is 6, she's turning 7 next month. She would like to share her leaves with you guys.
Yeah.
She's feeling like she's
Oh,
made
pretty.
them too
Oh,
small,
wow.
but I'm telling her it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you so I can
Oh, sorry, here, I'll
spotlight
put it
you.
up some more. I think it's amazing.
There we go. There
Gorgeous.
we go. I love those colors.
It looks like
That's
a beautiful
gorgeous.
fall scene, Amelia.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
Very
like
good.
I love the
Beautiful,
shape of your
Amelia.
leaves too.
Yeah.
I'm loving the shape.
Awesome.
I know. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Cool.
The shape of the leaves, like the way you drew the stems is really nice.
Very
Thanks for
good.
sharing, Amelia.
Say thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love
Oh.
it. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what we do is we normally will hold our pictures up if we want to share, just to look at it and just to congratulate everyone. No two pictures are ever going to be the same. You know, I like to think of it as it's your signature, it's your handwriting. No two pictures will ever be the same because they can't ever do it the way you do it. It's just not possible. And honestly, every time I do the same project, it never turns out the same.
Mhm.
Never the same. I'm loving this orange right here. So since it's my birthday weekend this weekend, I want to go camping at a certain park. It's about 2 hours away, but they call it Lost Maples Park, and I think it's one of the only places around here that actually has maple trees in it. So the leaves actually change every single year. Unlike the rest of South Texas, it's just always green. It's always like some shade of green or brownish green. So I'm excited for that. Oh yes, has anyone else done anything creative? Now it doesn't have to be art. It can be, I don't know, did you do some flower arranging? Did you do a craft? Did you sew? Did you cook? Like, did you think you were creative as you were cooking? That can be a thing too.
I'm starting to make these for Christmas. I don't know. Let me find it.
Yeah.
Like,
I gotta find your.
yeah, let me see. This kind of came off. So when it's done, it's just like a calendar with sticky pad.
Oh. Susie, you're muted.
Okay, here I go.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like a little desk calendar with the sticky pad underneath. I don't know if you can help. Let me go this way. So there's a
Yeah, there you
calendar
go.
here that tears off, and this is a sticky pad that I have to stick on. And this is like a
Oh.
little desk thing, you know.
Oh,
And it folds flat too. So like you can send it flat,
Cool.
like in a card. So
that's cute.
yeah, make a little Christmas, little Christmas crafts like that. So yeah.
Really cute. Wait, you made that?
Yeah. So I'm making them
No
for some
way.
friends and people who have desks. Yeah. Want one? Let me know.
That's so cute, Susie. I really do love that
Oh,
though.
thank you. Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable. And I love that you're starting on your Christmas gifting so soon too.
Oh, I have to, so 'cause it takes forever. I try to make all my gifts. I try not to do too much store-bought. I do a lot of hand like making and stuff. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably really smart starting it all now.
Yeah. Actually started like in August, I think, with some of the stuff. Yeah.
Good for you. Wow.
That's amazing.
You said cooking, so that I guess is the creative thing that I've been doing. We have a plant here that's called the roselle, and it's actually a type of hibiscus that after it blooms, it has these what are called calyxes left, which are these bright. Actually, let me grab one so I can show you. But I made jam.
Oh wow. Oh, she made a jam with it? That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Delicious is a better word.
Yeah, go show. You go hold it up. Here, you gotta hold it up. Hold them up close so they can see.
Yeah,
There,
I'm
can
gonna
you
put
see?
you. I'm gonna add the pin so everyone can see you. Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, so there's honestly, I'm harvesting like 3 or 4 cups of these, it seems like every other day. So there's tons and tons. And so we made jam, we canned it, and
Oh, cool.
I have a dozen of these. I've never done real canning before this week. but
Oh my gosh.
this weekend we made them, and they're really pretty, and it kind of tastes like cranberry. They call
Oh,
it Florida cranberry or sorrel. You can also
Very
make like tea and stuff like that out of it.
oh, cool.
Wow, that is super cool. Man, that sounds amazing.
You can
I
also
wish
just
I
eat them
knew how
raw.
to
They're kind of a
dance.
fun plant.
Huh.
They're related to hibiscus, you said?
Yeah, they're a type of hibiscus.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because I love
Huh.
hibiscus tea. I never tried.
Yeah,
under-
Yeah.
this is what you use to make hibiscus tea.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay. Cool.
And they also
and
make
what
a
are they
drink called,
called again?
they're called Roselle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roselle or sorrel. And they call it, they make a drink called agua de Jamaica out of it also, where you boil it and it makes hibiscus tea, and they add like lime juice, maybe a little bit of spritz of lime to it. It's really good. It's just like a
Yeah.
fake cranberry, basically.
Oh, never heard of that.
Delicious.
Learn every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what kind of drink you're talking about. So that is amazing.
When I go to the Jamaican restaurants, there's always the sorrel option.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Tony, where do you live?
In Bowie, Maryland.
What was the first part? I heard the Maryland.
Oh, Bowie. Bowie, like David Bowie.
Oh.
Bowie. Mhm.
Yeah. You guys are making me thirsty.
Well, I don't have anything like visual to report, but I only make art with Hannah. I mean, I never want to do it without her, but I went and revisited my bear picture yesterday, and I cleaned up some stuff and I put a background on it. But I also started singing, because I don't do that here, you know. And I forget, because of MS, I forget like songs that I like. And I was just,
Yeah.
you doing that and singing, and I'm like, oh, that's so fun.
You'll have to sing for us sometime. All right, guys, just so you guys know where I'm at on my picture, I've added most of my colors. I think all I need to do is just add the regular brown here. But then after this, I'm going to go in and I'm trying to remember order of operation. Oh, that's right. So after you're finished, then that's when we go in and we make our stems. So the outline of our leaves and the stems, those will all be the same color. It makes it a little bit more cohesive that way. But if of course you want to do your own thing, then I absolutely encourage that. Make it different colors, then yes, do it. So here's what I mean. Let me put this cap back on. Now, in the original picture that you see there, I actually chose this color brown. So it's, once again, it's that sandy, it's that lighter color brown. And I outlined every single leaf in this color. But of course, I want you to be creative with it. If you want to outline everything in like crazy purple, you can do that. Outline it in something that you love. The only reason I chose this particular color is because it's just more in my head, it's more of a fall color. So outline is exactly what I mean by it. So you literally just outline your leaf, put a stem in there, draw a few lines coming out, pick and choose your leaves. There's honestly no right or wrong way to do this. There's really no special order of operations. Just pick a leaf and outline it. Now I can tell here I guess one of the trickier parts would be to figure out which leaf to keep on top of another leaf if you're layering. So right here, for example, this is a perfect example where this pink leaf is overlapping this pink leaf, and you can see both of them. So I would just pick which one to outline. Well, let me take it back. Whichever one you want to be on top, outline that one first. So I wanted this little leaf to be on top, so I outlined the little leaf first. And I'm squeezing my lines behind this yellow leaf here, because I think it would be nice if this yellow leaf was on top of the little leaf, and this little leaf is on top of this big pink leaf. So here's another example right here. Perfect example. So I think I'm going to decide right now that I want this purple leaf to be on top of this pink leaf. I'm going to outline it, outline the purple leaf. I'm even going to put my stem in there, right there. And I want my pink leaf to be underneath both the purple leaf and this orange leaf too. So because I have another leaf that sits on top, I'm going to go and jump over here and do the orange leaf like that. So I outline the orange leaf, and now I can go ahead and turn around and outline the pink leaf. I am going to take my time with it. Now you don't exactly have to do things exactly like that, because we have so many leaves here that if you accidentally miss one or just didn't think about it because you didn't see it, then that's okay. You will find a way to move around it. There we go. We just pivot on to the next one. And there.
Did you say you're doing your outline in the darkest brown?
In not the darkest one, the next darkest. It's so I have two browns, and I'm doing the lighter of the browns.
So what did you do? Oh, the brown. I see what you did with the other brown.
Yeah.
You made some brown leaves.
Yeah, they're just brown leaves. In fact, I think I need to do some more. Yeah, and there was a reason why I didn't want to do the darkest. I didn't want to outline using the darkest of the browns. I don't know. I just felt like it would stand out quite a lot. But it might be actually pretty cool to, if you wanted to do the dark brown, that's totally okay. There we go. I need to do that, do that, do that, do that. Yeah, take your time with outlining the leaves. The water is going to be the very last thing that we do. And depending on you, it may go pretty quick. It just depends. I did a lot of scribbling with the background with the blue. Scribbling is just, one of my favorite things to do. Any questions, comments? Cool. Anybody getting confused with their leaves yet? I am. A lot of leaves. I probably should add more of the dark browns just for mine. Like I probably add one right here. I'm just talking to myself at this point. You don't, not saying anything in particular. I'm trying to think, what have I done that was creative this week? Well, I mean, besides, I'm trying to think, but it's different. Like there's the stuff I have to do to create artworks for other people, and then there's the stuff that I do for myself. And actually, I can show you guys my puffer fish if you want to see my puffer fish. Just real quick, I promise I'll put the leaves back on. There he is. Oh, I like him.
Oh.
Oh, how
baby.
cool.
My baby.
It looks like 3D, like kind of 3D.
It's done on translucent paper. So it's like you can see it in the back. So I don't know if that did. But that's my baby. Pretty proud of that one. I needed to do that. So I did. Yay! I got to show off some of my artwork to you guys. I have been wanting to make some pumpkin pie lately. But like make it out of actual pumpkin and not canned pumpkin. I'm a sucker for all these pumpkin spice. So I actually bought I don't normally do baking. It's just not really my thing, but I do love making pumpkin pies and really any kind of pie. So I bought the pie pumpkins, and sometime this week I'd like to put them up and make a pumpkin pie because I don't like to just eat it at Thanksgiving.
Do you make your own crust?
Yeah, I do love to make my own crust. I'll use what is it? The Bob's Red Mill gluten-free crust because I just feel like it tastes really good. So that's usually what I use. I don't eat gluten-free, but that one is just delicious. I do have to say I prefer dairy-free pumpkin pie. I mean, I don't eat dairy, so there's that too, but I feel like it just tastes so much more refreshing, I think. There's so many leaves in here, guys. Try to keep track of them all. There. here. So I'm almost done with my leaves here. I can go ahead and show you guys how to do the water now. Go. Now the water, I would choose, if you can, perhaps a light blue if you can, but if not, that's absolutely okay. I'll use the same kind of blue that you see here. I need to erase some of my lines right here. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, so whenever you get a chance to do this part, take a look at your picture. And are there any areas that are kind of larger? This one for me, this one's, I'd say, pretty large. There's this area that's pretty elongated. So there's a good amount of space here. This area here also kind of large. This one right here, the space really stretches. And I like to start on those areas simply because it's easier to get in a longer, stretchier mark. So I'm gonna stretch it down and scribble, 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 scribble my way around these leaves. So I'll identify another area that's pretty pretty elongated. That way you can watch. Basically, I'm taking the longest area. So this one's pretty long right here. This means that my marker can stretch and then it can scribble its way down into another area. So stretch, scribble down. I can come over here, stretch, and scribble down. Over here next to it, stretch, and scribble away. Over
So
here.
how do you avoid getting all on the leaf?
Just be careful with it. Like right here, it's gonna happen. Like you have so many leaves here, it's just going to happen. So just kind of take a look at it. And if you need to practice for a second with your finger, stretch it to where you need to stop before you do the marker, then take your time doing that. Stretch and scribble down. So really what I'm doing is I'm taking a look at what's all around me, taking a look at how small the space is, and just sort of taking into account that there's a leaf there. Now I know that's way easier said than done, right? And like I said, there will be instances where you get water on your leaf, and that's honestly totally okay because they are leaves out of water. You're going to get some water on your leaves. It's just life. So let's see. I'm also going to be moving my picture around as well. So if there's a certain angle, like this one, for example, where it's easier for you to make your stretch marks, then move your picture in that way. So it's easier for me to move up and scribble up to here. I'm gonna go over here and move it this way. There. It's like each section is its own little world. Stretching that way. And you're just kind of having to teeter-totter off of each section. Like I said, you move your paper whichever way feels more comfortable. You don't have to go as quickly as I'm going. I'm taking a look at, I mean, well, now that I've done this a few times, I'm starting to notice that I personally, I prefer taking a look at where I start, and then also taking a look at where I want to end. So I want to start here, I want to end here. Maybe it'll be better for you to take into account where you're going before you start. And even then, I still got a little bit of blue inside my leaves, and that's okay. Moving down. You don't have to do it in all in one swoop either. Okay, those scribbles there. These are just smaller chunks of area. And honestly, if there's a certain spot where it's really bothering you and you really just don't like it so much, then it might help to put another outline around in blue. See, like that spot right there? I didn't like that. So I went ahead and just made a line in blue. This part right here, I could do the same thing. I'm gonna move it around. Hope you guys can see it because I can't see my own screen. There we go. So let's say this part, for example, I had gotten a little more blue than I intended in this area. So I can take the thick edge of my marker and I can outline the outside. So that's basically just evening out these marks.
It looks intentional.
I mean, this part is, yeah, this part is intentional.
I mean, when you fixed it, it looks like, oh yeah, you intended to do it that way.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it's definitely something you can do. Now there are areas like here, for example, where it looks like I got some blue on top of just the stem. So with that part, of course, the blue went over the entire stem. So I personally, I love the way that looks. To me, it just feels like there's just water covering that part of the stem and only that part of the stem. So I personally love that. So in other words, I don't know what to say if you don't like it, because it just feels natural to me that way, even though, you know, it was technically a mistake, but I don't like the term mistakes. I like pivoting. And scribble and keep on scribbling. Sometimes even I forget that I can break these down into smaller chunks. Like my general mode of thinking and doing things is just to go fast. And that's not always the way to do it. Sometimes I forget I can slow down. And honestly, it seems like it's kind of nice to go and make that outline outside of the leaf, even when it's not necessarily a mistake. Like right here, I just feel like there's a lot of space right here, so I can absolutely just make another line. And suddenly I like that spot a lot more. So I'm just going around and totally making in those final details with the water. Don't have too much more.